Welcome back to another episode of Unleashed Alchemy. Tamara Tamu here, thanking you for being here, and to all the new subscribers, I'm so glad that you're here. You are a part of this spiritual army that is rising like the phoenix from the ashes to take your rightful place as magicians, alchemists, whatever you want to call yourself. As long as you are living your soul fulfilled life, you have magic that is in your DNA, in your cells, that you have raised your hand and said, I'm ready for them to be unleashed. I don't care how I look to other people. I am ready to bridge the unseen with the seen. If that takes me out of my normal way of being, which it will, then so be it. Okay, welcome to the channel. Welcome to this community. All right. So if you have been here at least from March 14th, then you know that for the last 8 days, we have been focusing on the importance of self-gratitude and how that is so essential, and it is a powerful tool that you can add to your magic bag. All right, I'm going to do a summary here. Self-gratitude, yes, you can be in gratitude for this body that you see, but ultimately, we're talking about the self, the you that is cosmic. All right, the you that sits on the throne, the you that is connected to the galaxies, the you that is prosperous and abundance and overflowing with wisdom and magic and love and peace and abundance. Okay, and a soul that is in this body that came here to live a soul fulfilled life. Okay, that is the self that we are showing gratitude for. That is the self, okay, that is waiting to be unleashed. All right, so that you can live to your highest potential as a divine cosmic being. Okay, so we show gratitude for material things, the external, for our home, for having food, for having clothes, which is amazing. That's wonderful. Okay, it is a wonderful habit. However, we often forget to show gratitude for our own spirit, for our own essence. Why do we forget to do that? Because, number one, because of programming, we forget about that connection that we have to otherworldly, to an otherworldly existence. All right, to our, some will call it higher consciousness, some will call it Christ consciousness, some will call it universal intelligence. It doesn't matter what you call it, but it is you. And that is the self that we forget about. But now is the perfect time. Now is the time. Okay, it's always been the perfect time, but really now is the time. And if you're feeling that tug, and if you're feeling that pull, that there is something that is rising up on the inside of you that you can't really explain, that is why. And you are in the right place, because you have been called, okay, to live a soul fulfilled life where you are bridging the unseen into the seen. All right. You're not caring about how that sounds or looks to other people, because you're waving your hand saying, I don't know, I don't understand what all of this means, but I know that there is more to me than meets the eye. And you would be correct. All right. So if you're new here, first of all, thank you for being here. But I really encourage you, watch all the videos that you want. I have over 200 videos on this channel. But I really would highly recommend that you start with March 14th. All right. Go through the 8 days of self-gratitude video. I recorded the last one yesterday. Yesterday. That was the 8th day. So I would advise that you start with that 8-day series first. All right. What I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to just give a summary of the benefits of self-gratitude. Now, understand this list, it's not definite. Also understand that the list, what I'm going to talk about or what I'm going to give you and list out, all of these aspects are intertwined with each other. Okay. So we learned over the last 8 days that when you show yourself gratitude, when you enlist the practice of self gratitude, when you allow that to be a part of your spiritual science, a part of your spiritual toolbox, your calling is revealed, your worth, you understand that it's no longer externally validated, your gifts, spiritual gifts become accessible. You no longer keep asking the question of, why am I here? You realize that you only have to ask that one time, just one time. And you'll notice in increments, and I don't want to say slowly, but in increments, the you of you starts to be revealed. Okay. Also, let's see, that was number 4. Number 5, negative thoughts don't rattle you. All right. You're not concerned with this talk of negative energy. That does not rattle you. That was number 5. Number 6, you begin to recognize a cosmic internal shift that occurs as you start to show yourself gratitude. And it starts to elevate your perspective, first about your life and then everything else. And here's a side note to that. Here's a caveat to that. You'll start to talk different, hence, which may or may not lead to some people in your life that you may have been close to. Maybe that closeness is starting, instead of this, it's starting to become more of a distant relationship because you've changed your perspective, and that may be uncomfortable for some people. Also, that was, I'm losing count. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, this is number 7. You also understand with self-gratitude, even if you are unsure of the next steps that you need to take, you just become grounded and rested in the truth and the fact that you are constantly guided. Because remember, with self-gratitude, you're going internally, which in turn strengthens. Again, you start to focus on that connection between your internal and that higher intelligence. You realize that you and the higher intelligence is one and the same. There is no separation. Okay? So the next point is you accept that you aren't missing out on anything because you're unsure of the next steps, because you are the plan. You may not have the plan. The steps may not be laid out in front of you, but you understand that you are the plan. Because why? Because you're constantly guided. That goes back to the previous point. The next thing is the stock that you carry. What is your stock? Your magic, your essence, your power. The stock that you possess, instead of taking it for granted, instead of ignoring it, you now embrace it and you let it embrace you. And the last point is you start to appreciate your own divinity. And there's one other thing that I want to say here, okay? So actually, that was a lie. That wasn't the last point. So, we need to understand that self-gratitude leads to self-awareness, which leads to embodiment. So before I give you this last point, I want to go over these points one more time, okay? Let's see, 1, 2, let me get the count right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so there's 10. So number one, your calling is revealed. Your worth is no longer externally validated. Your gifts become easily accessible. You no longer ask the question, why am I here? Because you've already asked it one time. Negative thoughts do not rattle you. You begin to recognize your internal cosmic shift that is taking place, that's elevating your perspective. If you're not sure, even if you're unsure of the next step, you're grounded in the fact that you are constantly guided. You accept that you are not missing out on because you don't have a plan, because you are the plan. The stock, your magic and power that you possess, instead of ignoring it, you embrace it. And the 10th point is you start to appreciate your own divinity when you show yourself gratitude. All right? So, this is the last point that I want to make. Spirituality, okay, it teaches us to integrate our knowledge of ourself. Now remember, this goes back to what I just said. Self-gratitude leads to self-awareness, leads to embodiment. So spirituality teaches us to integrate our knowledge of self into our daily lives, which leads to those enchantments that you hear me talk about on this channel. Because now your eyes are open, and they're open to how powerful you are, which is also tied to embodiment. That is the pathway to you embodying and existing here as a cosmic being. All right. So I meant to tell you before I even started that to grab a pen and paper, but go over those. I highly recommend that you go over those days, go over those videos, write out those 10 points and see how you can incorporate all of those points that are gleaned from the content of those 8 videos and apply it to your daily life. Now, here is my promise. I made a promise to you guys that I would be dropping on March 22nd, which is today. I will be dropping the 22% off code that you can use for your first month of the Unleashed Alchemy Magic School. Okay, because your magic is not a mystery. It should not be a mystery. All right, so that's why I changed the name. More about that in another video. So here is the code that you can use. It is Unleashed, all caps, Unleashed 22. Very simple. I will include that in the description box of this video. When you join for this month, you will be coming into the magic school just in time for our live session that we're having this Friday the 29th, 7 p.m. Eastern. Now, for this live session, I am going to be taking the magic tool of self-gratitude to another level, and we're going to talk about self-gratitude and its connection to your magnetism and to your wealth. All right. So I was going to do a recorded workshop, but I thought this would be the perfect time to do a live course, a live class on that. So March 29th, 7 p.m., we're going to be talking about the connection between self-gratitude and your wealth identity. All right. So when you sign up this month, you'll be there just in time for this live session for this month. Live sessions happen every single month. Actually on the 4th, or is it? Well, it's the 4th Friday of every single month. So this month is going to be on the 29th. So also the code, you'll be able to use the code up until March 28th, 11:59 p.m. All right. So take advantage of the 22% off for your first month of the Unleashed Alchemy Magic School. All right, so I want to hear from you guys on what you took away or what your takeaways are or have been, what your realizations have been from the 8 days of self-gratitude. If you want to save them for the live session, because after I get through with with delivering the content for the class of the self-gratitude and wealth identity, there will be time for Q&A. So if you want to save your comment for that live session for the Q&A part, do so. All right. So I look forward to seeing you inside the Magic School. All right. If you have any other questions for me, leave them in the comments or send me an email. unleashedalchemy@gmail.com. All right. Unleashed 22 is the discount code. All right. And until next time, cheers.